So here we're going to show you the MIM CO2N, also known as our SNET converter tool. Inside the box, when you receive it, you'll receive the converter tool that you see here, a USB cable to connect the tool to your computer. This set of ribbon cables is to do direct PBA updates. And this green plug. This green plug will allow you to use field supplied wiring to connect the tool from here to F1 and F2 of the daisy chain, or R1 and R2 of the outdoor unit communication. As you can see, we've connected the USB cable to the converter and to the computer so they can communicate. With the green plug that I showed you in the unpacking of the product, I have field supplied a cable, and now we'll go up to the outdoor unit and see where I landed. So here you can see the cable that was field supplied. We've landed on F1 and F2. Let's go back to the computer and open the software. Before you connect your SNET converter tool to your computer, you'll need to visit samsunghvac.com. Once you get to the landing page of the site, click on Technical Services, and then click on Technical Documents. This will take you to the page which holds our software download. As you scroll down, you'll see Software Downloads. Click on it, and then you'll see SNET Pro Service Software and DVM Pro Design Software. We need to click on the SNET Pro Service Software. Once you enter this site, you'll see that there are two different softwares. We have the SNET Pro Service Software, non-NASA, and the SNET Pro 2 Service Software, NASA systems. The non-NASA is our RAC equipment. This was the software that you would use to connect to FJM and RAC equipment. For today's demonstration, we're going to talk about the SNET Pro 2 Service Software, the NASA systems. You'll go into here. Once you get on this page, you'll scroll down. There are two files that you'll need to download. One would be the Prolific USB to serial driver, and the SNET Pro 2 Service Software, the newest version, will be available located here. Once you download the USB to serial driver, you'll need to install that first before you install the service software. So now that you've installed SNET Pro 2 software, you'll need to find the icon that was created on your desktop, double click. As it opens, the first thing that you'll need to do is click on this blue button here. Click on the blue button and go down to Option. Select the option, and you'll want to change your unit of measure. So temperature to Fahrenheit, power to BTU, and pressure to PSI. The automatic recording when start is automatically checked in the box. If every time that you open the software you want it to start recording when you connect to equipment, leave it checked. If not, uncheck and hit OK. Once you do this, the software will restart. So now that we've changed the unit of measure, we want to connect to the system. You'll click the Connect button. We are connected on the F1 and F2 layer at the outdoor unit. We'll select this, and you'll notice down in the bottom right hand corner you'll have a green light. That means it's communicating with the system, and it's going to start pulling in the equipment connected to the system. Based on communication level and layers, this may take a few minutes, so be patient as the equipment loads onto the screen. So now that the system is populated, let's talk about the tabs at the bottom. We have Outdoor Unit Data, which is the first tab that opens. Here you will see the outdoor units that are connected to this system, which are 2. The indoor units are 10. And all the information that we can receive and review for the outdoor equipment. If we click on the outdoor unit installation data, you'll see we have data for both pieces of outdoor equipment and the information such as the MICOMs of the boards in the system, the total number of compressors per unit, and what the calibrations are for heating and cooling and all the other things that can be done. The oil return, defrost, fan calibration, and night silence you see are say basic. Those are settings that you can change within the system, as well as head, pipe length, power saving, rotational defrost, and cool low limit extension. All those can be changed within settings of the outdoor unit. The little yellow tabs that you see along the way are editable. All you would have to do is double click. You double click and you can call it something new, such as that. On the next tab, you see the outdoor unit cycle diagram. It shows all the sensors and the valves and what position they're on while the system is running. Then you have the indoor unit data. Notice at the moment we have the addresses 0 through 9, which is 10 indoor units. All capacities are 0, which means there's not a thermal call for equipment to run. The mode where it says null mode is because the system hasn't been told to run yet. Once we enable a system to run, that will change into what status they're in, as the fan speed as well. If you scroll on across, you'll see we have set temperature, room temperature, and our lower limit settings. And then you have your EVA in and EVA out, which is your refrigerant flow through your indoor units. The EEV steps on all of our DVMS equipment on indoor equipment is 0 to 2,000 pulses. Error code. Right now we have no error codes in the system. Another unique feature is we have the serial numbers populated. It makes it much easier to find equipment within the building with knowing the serial number you're looking for. Notice we have an auto ESP. This is for our duct-S systems. If we had a duct-S unit, we can enable auto ESP. If you have ducted units, you can also see discharge temperatures. As you see here, we have -58. That is just a negative value saying that this particular unit does not have a sensor. The ones that do have sensors have a value of right now of 70 degrees, or the one at the bottom which has 32. If the system is set up, the ducted units are set up to work off discharge temperature, these values will be changed to represent what temperature they are set up to do. And of course, if you have wind-free equipment on your system, you can see if the wind-free is enabled. Right now we do have some wind-free and all of it is off because the system is off. The wind-free also has a humidity sensor that you see here, and it shows the humidity of the space that they're in at the moment. If you look at the very bottom, at unit number 9, it is a 360 cassette. Its discharge basic values is 32 because it does not have a sensor, and the discharge temperatures can't be set on it as well. Let's click on over to the indoor unit installation data. This shows the equipment model that we have. Notice here we have 10 different models of equipment here. MCU address and MCU port addressing. So this is a heat recovery system that we are connected to. And all the editable locations have been named for what type of equipment they are. Then we have the product option codes, the installation option, and installation option 2. And then we see here the main MyCom. The main MyCom tells the firmware version of the indoor unit. Sometimes this has to be updated. And of course, error history of each individual unit, up to 5 different histories. Notice here, on these particular 2 units, they have faulted out on errors, and the other ones are null of any errors. Next, we have our MCU unit data. So if you look here, we have 3 addresses, 3 MCUs. And if you look at the MCU, it will read from right to left. So we have A address, and then AEV, A heat, and A cool. The little white buttons that you see, when the valve is enabled, will light up red. This is our control for unoccupied and entering room. This would be used to set up with a MIMB14 and or an occupancy sensor. On the ETO tab, this means the emergency temperature output. This is an option that is available on some of our products that allows the state to enable another unit in case one fails. This concludes the introduction to the SNET converter tool and software. Thank you.